Do you know why so many people spend their lives dreaming, but never actually live their dreams? It's because they're waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, the perfect conditions to start. But let me tell you a truth you might not want to hear. If you keep waiting for perfect, you will wait forever. The people you admire today, the ones who built companies, created change, or transformed their lives, did not start when everything was ready. They started when things were messy. They started when they had doubts, when people told them it wouldn't work, when the risk seemed too high and the reward too far away. The difference is they didn't wait for life to hand them a guarantee. They started anyway. And that is why their story is different. Every big dream, every powerful success, every remarkable achievement began the same way, with something small. The world is filled with people who think they need millions of dollars, a huge network, or a groundbreaking idea before they begin. But the truth is, greatness grows from the smallest seeds. A mighty tree once fit in the palm of someone's hand. A skyscraper started as a rough sketch on a piece of paper. And your dream, no matter how impossible it looks right now, can begin with the smallest, simplest, almost laughable step you can take today. The size of your start doesn't matter. What matters is the size of your vision and your willingness to move forward without knowing exactly how the ending will look. The reason starting small is so powerful is because it removes the weight of perfection. If you aim to make everything perfect before you act, you'll get stuck in fear, hesitation, and overthinking. But when you allow yourself to start small, you give yourself the permission to grow, to make mistakes, and to learn along the way. Look at any successful person's journey, and you will see a pattern. They began in a room, no bigger than your living room, with tools that were far from the best, and with resources that most people would consider inadequate. But they moved forward with what they had, and each step taught them something new that prepared them for the next. When you start small, you also learn the discipline of building from the ground up. Many people who are handed success overnight lose it quickly because they never develop the habits, mindset, and skills required to sustain it. But when you grow slowly, steadily, brick by brick, you build a foundation that is unshakable. You learn how to solve problems creatively, how to stretch every resource, and how to endure the frustrations that come with progress. And because you've grown into it, success doesn't overwhelm you. It feels natural because you've been training for it all along. Thinking big is the other half of the equation. Starting small without thinking big is like planting a seed without believing it can become a tree. If you only focus on what's in front of you and never see beyond it, you will stay small. Thinking big is about having a vision so strong that it pulls you forward when your motivation runs out. It's about seeing possibilities where others only see limitations. It's about believing that the effort you are putting in today, even if it looks insignificant, is shaping a future that is worth every sacrifice you're making. You might have a job right now that feels meaningless, a side hustle that brings in only a few dollars, or a skill that barely gets noticed. But if you think big, you will approach each small task with a sense of purpose. You will treat that small paycheck as a seed to be invested, that small audience as a group worth serving deeply, and that little progress as proof that you're on your way. The person who thinks big doesn't complain about starting small. They are grateful for it because they know this stage is where the real strength is built. So many people give up not because their dream was impossible, but because they judged it too soon. They looked at the early stages, saw no dramatic results, and assumed it wasn't working. But you cannot measure the future by the size of your start. The seed doesn't show its power on day one. It shows it after seasons of growth, storms, and sunshine. If you want to change your life, you must be willing to plant your seed now, protect it, and believe in the forest it will become, even when all you see today is a tiny sprout. Your mindset is the real asset. When people talk about assets, they usually think about money in the bank, property, gold, or investments. But the truth is, the most valuable asset you will ever own is not in your wallet or in your house. It's in your head. Your mindset will either be the greatest weapon you have or the heaviest chain that holds you down. You can give two people the same opportunity, the same resources, even the same starting point, and one will rise while the other falls. Why? Because one believed it was possible, while the other convinced themselves it wasn't worth trying. Your mindset shapes every decision you make. If you think small, you will act small. If you see the world as dangerous and hopeless, you will hide from it. If you believe success is for lucky people, you'll never work for it yourself. On the other hand, if you train your mind to see possibilities, to believe in your capacity to grow, to treat challenges as training instead of punishment, you will open doors that others don't even notice. What you focus on expands. And if you focus on problems, they will consume you. But if you focus on solutions, you will discover paths where most people see walls. Mindset is not something you are born with. It's something you build. Yes, you might have grown up hearing people say, "We can't afford this," or "That's just the way life is," or "People like us don't get those opportunities." But the moment you start questioning those ideas, the moment you start replacing them with empowering beliefs, you begin to reprogram your future. You cannot always control where you start, but you can control what you believe about where you can go. Every thought you choose is like a brick, and over time, those bricks build the house you live in. The mental house where your confidence, your courage, and your ambition either thrive or starve. The danger is that most people don't even realize their mindset is working against them. They see failure as proof they're not capable, when in reality it's just part of the process. They see other people's success as a threat instead of an inspiration. They let doubt speak louder than determination. This is why you must guard your mind like you would guard your most valuable treasure. Because that's exactly what it is. The people you listen to, the content you consume, the conversations you have, all of these feed your mindset. If you keep feeding it negativity, it will grow weaker. But if you feed it hope, learning, and persistence, it will become your most unshakable strength. Think about it, there are countless stories of people who started with nothing. No money, no connections, no privilege, yet achieved extraordinary success. They didn't magically stumble into it. They built a mindset that refused to surrender. They looked at impossible situations and asked, "How can I make this work?" Instead of saying, "This will never work." That one shift in perspective changes the entire outcome. Your mindset determines how you react to setbacks. When you hit a wall, the wrong mindset says, "This is the end." The right mindset says, "This is a detour. Let's find another route." The wrong mindset sees rejection as a reason to stop. The right mindset sees rejection as feedback, a signal to adjust and try again. And every time you choose the right response, your mental strength grows. Over time, you begin to notice that problems don't crush you like they used to, criticism doesn't stop you like it once did, and fear doesn't hold the same power over you. Not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. Your future will not be built by luck or by chance. It will be built by the thoughts you choose, the beliefs you reinforce, and the attitude you carry every single day. Your mindset is the lens through which you see the world. And if that lens is clouded by fear, limitation, and doubt, you will miss opportunities that are right in front of you. But if that lens is clear, focused, and full of possibility, you will see what others can't see, and you will move in directions others won't even attempt. Learn from failure, not from comfort. If you look closely at the lives of the most successful people in the world, you'll notice something that often gets overlooked. Their greatest lessons, their turning points, their moments of real growth did not come from the times when everything was comfortable. Comfort is easy. Comfort feels safe, but comfort rarely teaches you anything new. It's the failures, the struggles, the moments where you feel like everything is falling apart that shape you into someone capable of greatness. Comfort might keep you happy for a while, but failure forces you to evolve. The problem is, most people are taught to fear failure from the time they are children. In school, getting the wrong answer means you failed the test. At work, making a mistake means you might lose your job. In society, failing at a business or a project is seen as shameful. So what happens? People avoid taking risks. They avoid new challenges. They avoid putting themselves in situations where they might fail. And in doing so, they also avoid the very experiences that would help them grow. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is a necessary part of it. Every time you fail, you're handed a mirror that shows you exactly where you need to improve. It's like training a muscle. When you lift weights, the small tears in your muscles are what make them grow stronger. In life, failure works the same way. It tears down the parts of you that are weak, forces you to rebuild them, and leaves you stronger than before. Think back to a time when you faced a major challenge. Maybe a job you didn't get, a relationship that ended, a business idea that didn't work out. At the time, it might have felt like the end of the road. But now, looking back, you can probably see that it taught you something you couldn't have learned any other way. It might have forced you to develop a skill you didn't know you needed. It might have taught you resilience. It might have shown you the value of patience or the importance of preparation. Every setback carries a lesson. And if you focus on the lesson instead of the pain, you will move forward wiser and stronger. The truth is, you will never fully prepare for success by staying in your comfort zone. Comfort zones are like soft pillows. They feel good, but you can't run a marathon lying on them. If you want to grow, you have to be willing to feel uncomfortable. You have to be willing to look foolish, to take risks that might not work out, and to keep moving even when people doubt you. The irony is, the people who try hardest to avoid failure often end up with the biggest regrets because they realize they never really lived. They stayed safe, but they stayed small. Failure also has another gift. It humbles you. It reminds you that you don't know everything, that there's still more to learn. That success is not something you can demand, but something you must earn. This humility is what keeps you open to learning and growing, because the moment you think you know it all is the moment you stop progressing. When you start to see failure as a teacher instead of an enemy, everything changes. You stop running from challenges and start running toward them. You stop seeing obstacles as signs to quit and start seeing them as opportunities to learn. And you stop letting other people's opinions control your actions because you realize that their judgment doesn't shape your future. Your response to failure does. The truth is, the most dangerous thing you can do is chase comfort. Comfort keeps you stuck in the same routines, the same thoughts, the same actions year after year. Failure, on the other hand, pushes you to break those patterns, to think differently, to act boldly. And the more you face failure, the less power it has over you. You start to realize that it's not the end of the road, it's just part of the journey. Patience is a superpower. In a world that moves at lightning speed, patience is becoming a lost art. We live in an age where you can order food without leaving your couch, watch a movie the moment it's released, and get answers to your questions in seconds with a quick search. And while technology has made life faster and more convenient, it has also made us impatient. People now expect their dreams to grow at the speed of a text message, their success to arrive as quickly as a package delivery. But life does not work on that kind of schedule. Real growth, real change, and real success take time. And this is why patience is one of the most underrated yet most powerful strengths you can develop. Patience is not about sitting still and doing nothing. It's not about waiting passively, hoping something will happen. Patience is an active skill. It is the ability to keep showing up, keep working, keep believing, even when the results are not visible yet. Think of a farmer. They plant seeds, water them, protect them from weeds, and wait. They don't dig up the soil every day to check if something is growing, because they know growth is happening beneath the surface, even when they can't see it. The same is true for your dreams. Just because you can't see immediate results doesn't mean progress isn't happening. The truth is, impatience has destroyed more dreams than failure ever could. Many people start with excitement, with a plan, with hope. But the moment progress feels slow, they start doubting themselves. They wonder if it's worth it. They wonder if they're doing it wrong. And then, instead of adjusting and staying the course, they quit. What they don't realize is that they might have been just a few steps away from the breakthrough they were chasing. Patience is what allows you to survive the silent seasons, the times when you're putting in the work. But the results are not yet visible. The most successful people in the world understand timing. They know that the right result at the wrong time is still the wrong result. They know that success is not just about skill and effort, but also about maturity, readiness, and the right moment. If you get what you want too soon, you might not be able to handle it. That's why patience is not just about waiting. It's about preparing yourself while you wait. Every day you spend in patience is a day you're building the mental, emotional, and practical strength to carry what's coming. Think about the bamboo plant. For years after it's planted, nothing seems to happen. You water it, you care for it, and for a long time, there's no sign of growth. But under the ground, It's building an intricate root system. Then, when the time is right, it can grow several feet in just weeks. This is how life works. Your root system is being developed in the seasons of patience. And when the time is right, you will grow faster than you ever imagined. But if you quit too soon, you'll never see that moment. Patience also protects you from desperation. When you are desperate for results, you make poor decisions. You rush into things, you compromise your values, you accept deals or opportunities that look good in the short term, but harm you in the long term. Patience allows you to say no to the wrong things, so you can say yes to the right ones. It gives you the wisdom to see that just because something is available now doesn't mean it's what you need now. In the journey toward your dreams, you will face seasons where nothing seems to move. The key is to remember that time is not your enemy. It is your partner. Every day you wait with discipline, focus, and consistency, you are getting closer to the moment when the results will align with your efforts. And when that moment comes, you will not only receive the reward, you will be ready to sustain it. Focus on what you can control. One of the fastest ways to drain your energy, your hope, and your motivation is to spend your days obsessing over things you cannot change. Yet this is what so many people do without even realizing it. They wake up and let the news decide how they feel. They scroll through social media and let other people's opinions shape their mood. They replay conversations in their mind, wishing they could rewrite the past. And in doing so, they give away the most valuable resource they have, their focus. Your focus is your fuel. And if you keep pouring it into things beyond your control, you will run out of strength before you even start working on what truly matters. The truth is, life is full of factors you cannot influence: the economy, the weather, what other people think of you, the mistakes you made yesterday. If you spend your mental energy fighting these battles, you will lose twice. First, you lose time and energy, and second, you lose the opportunity to work on the areas where you actually could have made a difference. The key to resilience, progress, and peace of mind is learning to shift your attention toward the things you can control. You can control your effort. You can control your attitude. You can control how you react when things don't go according to plan. You can control how much you learn, how consistent you are, and how you speak to yourself when nobody else is listening. These might seem like small things, but they are the building blocks of your future. Every great achievement is the result of a series of small, controllable actions repeated over time. You can't control whether the rain falls today, but you can control whether you carry an umbrella. When you focus on what you can control, you take back your power. You stop waiting for circumstances to be perfect before you act. You stop blaming others for why you're not where you want to be. You stop telling yourself stories about why things are impossible. Instead, you start asking better questions. What can I do right now with what I have? This mindset is the foundation of problem solving and progress. It's easy to get trapped in the only cycle. If only I had more money, I could start my business. If only I had more time, I could work on my goals. If only people supported me, I would be further ahead. The danger of if only thinking is that it puts your dreams on hold until something outside your control changes. And that might never happen. The people who succeed are not the ones with perfect conditions. They are the ones who find ways to win with the conditions they have. There's a sense of freedom that comes when you finally stop fighting the uncontrollable. You start noticing opportunities that were invisible before because you were too busy worrying about things you couldn't change. Your stress levels drop because you're no longer carrying the weight of problems that aren't yours to solve. And most importantly, your energy becomes concentrated on the things that actually move you forward. The world will always throw distractions your way. There will always be noise, chaos, and events that shake your plans. But the moment you choose to anchor your focus on your actions, your preparation, and your mindset, you stop being at the mercy of the storm. You might not control the wind, but you can adjust your sails. You might not control the tide, but you can choose when and how you set out on your journey. And that difference between reacting to life and directing your part in it is what separates those who drift aimlessly from those who move with purpose. Turn challenges into opportunities. Every person you admire, every story of success that inspires you has one thing in common. Somewhere along the journey, they faced a moment where it looked like everything was against them. a business that almost collapsed, a personal crisis that made them question everything, a rejection that shattered their confidence. And yet, when you hear them speak about it years later, they don't describe that challenge as the thing that destroyed them. They describe it as the turning point that made them who they are. The truth is, life will always bring challenges, but your future is determined not by the size of those challenges, but by the way you respond to them. Most people see challenges as roadblocks, something in their way, something stopping them from getting to where they want to go. But the most successful people see challenges as signposts, indicators that they are moving, growing, and stretching beyond their comfort zone. A life without challenges is not a life of success. It's a life where you stayed safe, stayed small, and never pushed past your limits. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. Growth happens when you're forced to solve problems you've never faced before, to think in ways you never have, and to find strength you didn't know you had. When something goes wrong, your first instinct might be to ask, why is this happening to me? But the more powerful question is, what is this trying to teach me? Every setback contains a seed of opportunity, but you will only find it if you look for it. Maybe the challenge is revealing a weakness you need to strengthen. Maybe it's redirecting you toward a path that will actually serve you better in the long run. Maybe it's testing your commitment to see if you truly want the dream you've been chasing. In any case, challenges are never just obstacles. They are also teachers, if you are willing to listen. Consider the story of countless entrepreneurs who started their businesses during economic downturns. On the surface, those times seem like the worst possible moments to start. But because resources were limited and competition was fierce, they learned to operate lean, to innovate faster, and to connect more deeply with their customers. When conditions improved, they were stronger than those who had only known easy times. That's the hidden advantage of challenges. They train you to survive in the hard seasons, so you can thrive in the good ones. One of the greatest skills you can develop is the ability to reframe how you see problems. Instead of saying, this is the end, learn to say, this is the beginning of something new. Instead of seeing rejection as failure, see it as redirection. Instead of letting difficulties drain you, let them refine you. A diamond is just a piece of coal that handled pressure well, and the same is true for you. Without pressure, without challenge, your potential stays hidden. The moment you start looking for the opportunity inside the challenge, something incredible happens. You stop feeling powerless. You realize you have choices. You realize you can adapt. You realize that even if you can't control what happened, you can control how you use it. And that's when life begins to shift in your favor, because you're no longer waiting for perfect conditions. You're creating progress in imperfect ones. Challenges will come whether you want them or not. You can't avoid them, but you can decide whether they break you or build you. And the more you choose to see them as opportunities, the more you will find that the very things you thought were in your way were actually shaping you for the next level of your journey. Never stop learning and adapting. In a world that is changing faster than ever before, the greatest risk you can take is to think you already know enough. The moment you stop learning is the moment you start falling behind. Because while you are standing still, the world is moving forward. What worked yesterday might be irrelevant tomorrow, and the skills that made you valuable today might be outdated in a few years. The most successful people you see are not the ones who knew everything from the start. They are the ones who kept learning, kept adjusting, and kept evolving no matter how much they had already achieved. Learning is not just about formal education or collecting certificates. It's about staying curious, asking questions, and being humble enough to admit that there's always more to understand. It's about realizing that every person you meet, every challenge you face, every mistake you make is a lesson in disguise. When you approach life with the mindset of a student, you open doors that others can't even see because they've stopped looking. And in a fast, moving world, the ability to keep your mind open is more valuable than any degree hanging on your wall. Adapting goes hand in hand with learning. It's not enough to gather information. You have to be willing to change based on what you've learned. This is where many people get stuck. They keep doing things the way they've always done them, even when the world has changed around them. They cling to old methods, old beliefs, and old habits because change feels uncomfortable. But here's the truth. Change will feel uncomfortable whether you resist it or embrace it, so you might as well use it to your advantage. The people who adapt quickly are not the ones who never fail. They are the ones who see failure as feedback and use it to adjust their approach. History is full of companies, leaders, and even entire industries that disappeared because they refused to adapt. They were too proud, too stubborn, or too afraid to try something new, and by the time they realized the world had moved on, it was too late. On the other hand, there are countless examples of individuals who reinvented themselves over and over again, learning new skills, adopting new technologies, and exploring new opportunities long after others thought they had reached their peak. Their success wasn't about luck. It was about staying flexible enough to grow with the times. Your willingness to learn and adapt is also a reflection of your resilience. Life will throw you into situations you never prepared for. A sudden career shift, a market change, a personal crisis that forces you to start over. In those moments, your ability to survive and thrive will not depend on how perfect your original plan was. It will depend on how quickly you can create a new one. And that comes from keeping your mind active, open, and ready for new information. One of the most dangerous traps you can fall into is believing that because you've been doing something for years, you've already mastered it. The world is filled with people who let their experience become a cage instead of a ladder. True mastery is not about reaching a point where you have nothing left to learn. It's about reaching a point where you realize there is always more to discover. The best athletes still train daily. The best leaders still seek advice. The best innovators still test new ideas. They never assume they've arrived because they understand that the moment you think you've made it is the moment you start losing it. If you commit to never stop learning and adapting, you give yourself an incredible advantage. While others are waiting for things to go back to how they used to be, you'll be moving forward into how things are becoming. While others are complaining about change, you'll be using change as a stepping stone. And while others are fading into irrelevance, you'll be growing into new levels of opportunity you never imagined before. Now, take a moment and think about everything we've talked about today. Think about starting small while dreaming big, about the power of your mindset, about learning from failure rather than running from it, about the patience required to see real growth, about focusing only on what you can control, about finding opportunity in every challenge, and about never stopping your learning and adaptation. These are not just ideas, they are principles that, when applied consistently, can change the trajectory of your entire life. The truth is, no one is going to hand you success. No one is going to rearrange the world to make your dreams easier to reach. But the power to change your life, the power to create the future you've been imagining, is already within you. Every single day, you have the opportunity to act, to learn, to grow, to shift your focus, and to take the steps that will lead you closer to the life you want. The smallest action done consistently is more powerful than the biggest action done once. Remember, life is not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about taking imperfect action today. It's about showing up when you don't feel ready, when you are afraid, when the results are not yet visible, and trusting that the effort you put in now is building the foundation for everything you desire tomorrow. Your dreams are not outside your reach. They are waiting for you to claim them one step, one lesson, one challenge at a time. So I want you to make a choice right now. Decide that you will start small but think big. Decide that you will guard your mindset, embrace failure as a teacher, and cultivate patience like a superpower. Decide that you will focus on what you can control, turn every challenge into an opportunity, and never ever stop learning and adapting. Decide that your life will not be defined by fear, hesitation, or circumstances, but by the courage, consistency, and belief you bring to every single day. If you do this, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Your future will not just be better, it will be extraordinary. And one day when you look back, you will realize that all the struggles, the setbacks, the quiet moments of persistence were not obstacles at all. They were the very things that shaped you into the person who could rise higher than you ever imagined. Your journey begins today. Watch, learn, act, and never stop. The life you dream of is waiting, and the power to create it has always been in your hands.